So I'm going to quickly go through my Demon Hunter support setup here. This is what I use for group runs. It's got a few different variations than like the meta setup on max roll, so bear with me. I'll go through the gear and some of the other important information that you're going to need to run this. So the gear that we're using, the Oryx Crown, Achilles Cuirass in the chest there. We've got the God's Mechanical Shoulders there, Rondell's Locket, Nemesis Braces, the God's Gloves. I'm using Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac with Oculus Ring. Captain Crimson's set. We've got the belt and the pants here. I'm using Wind Force instead of Yang's Recurve. You're going to find out why shortly. So this has a knockback chance, so 50% chance to knock back on hit, and with strong arm braces, it buffs damage very, very well for the group, and we get through the rift that much quicker. Really, really handy for speed runs. You can do the Yang setup with Wraps of Clarity in Cube, but I'm using strong arm braces. This gives a lot more damage to the group, and survivability is not an issue. I'm using the Antique, the Gods boots here, so we get the 4-piece bonus because I've got the Ring of Royal Grandeur in Cube as well, and MMA's Duffel, which MMA is, it feels like I'm saying MMA like UFC. MMA's Duffel gives you the main stats that you want with your attack speed and resource cost reduction, everything that you need for this support build. And you want to try, if possible, roll intelligence wherever you possibly can, so you can make like a wizard or an intelligence-based class to get all this gear. But if you're in a rush, like Dex and Strength, it gives you armor as well, not resist all, but it definitely works. And then you can augment, if you have Ancients, you can definitely augment some intelligence in there. I think I've got some augments there, so you can see my boots are augmented with intelligence. So you can augment all your gear if it's ancient. Intelligence is definitely the preferred stat for this. You don't need Dex or Strength, but it does work. If you want to be a perfectionist, you can roll intelligence on all of your gear, but other stats will do, and you can always augment them if they're ancient. So you can definitely knock this out very, very quickly. And very importantly, anywhere you possibly can, you want to have, you can see there my secondary stat, I've rolled it into, or I've enchanted it to increase the golden pickup radius, the golden health pickup radius by 2 yards. So you want to get to 27 if you can. I don't know what I'm at here. Let's go to the pickup radius. So mine's at 26. I'm missing 1% somewhere, so I can get away with 26. You can get away with like 24, 25, 26. 27 is the maximum you can get from your gear. As you can see, most of my gear, and Rondell's very importantly, you want to get one with 6 yard pickup radius. So pickup radius is super important. So when those juicy purple orbs drop in rifts, you just consume them. You vacuum them in, and you'll pick them up from a far distance. So there it is. It's my boots that's missing just the 1 yard. So I can definitely roll armor off and get that extra pickup radius if I wanted to, and be maxed out at 27, but it works with 26. It works with 26, and you definitely want to focus on staying alive, especially early on if you're low paragons. The gems we're using, I'm using Topaz for Helm with Leoric's Crown, so it gives you 12.5% resource cost reduction, but also doubles the effect. Not doubles the effect, sorry. It's a percentage amplification. So in this case, my Leorix isn't the best. It increases the effect of this gem by 75%. It can go up to 100, but my Leorix hasn't rolled the best. I can try and replace this Leorix, but like I said, gear does not have to be perfect for this. It definitely will work. And I've got the diamond gems for my chest and for my pants here. The legendary gems we're using, Gorgok of Swiftness, the Gem of Efficacious Toxin, and I'm using Ice Blink here. Everything that can basically buff some damage for the group and make you an effective Demon Hunter. Of course, Gorgok of Swiftness increases my attack speed and dodge so we can stay alive, and cooldown reduction is super important so we can spam all our other juicy abilities. That's pretty much it. You want to definitely try and get resource cost reduction wherever possible as well. Focus on your pickup radius first. Try and get resource cost reduction, vitality, and also resist all. Anything to stay alive, because we're not doing any damage. We're buffing and supporting our group with this setup. Don't worry too much about any other stats like crit chance, crit damage. Don't even worry about it. Resist all, vitality, intelligence are the stats you want to focus on for this setup. And the skills actually, no, I'll go into Paragon first. So Paragon's super important. You want to make sure that you don't have anything in area damage, because that can lag the group, especially when you're knocking out all these chains, which we'll get to skills in a second. And then with your core abilities, all these can stay maxed out, it's not a problem. You want to make sure you're maxed out on movement speed, 25%, but instead of dex, you want to go into vitality. That'll increase your health pool big time, help you stay alive, because again, we're not doing damage. You can go to this guy, Brother Malaki, and just top up on health when you do change over. The skills real quick before we start blasting. Entangling Shot with Chain Gang, Strafe with Drifting Shadow, Smoke Screen with Displacement. Oh, we're going to be moving fast. Multi-Shot with Wind Chill, Marked for Death, Contagion, and Companion with Wolf Companion passives. Tactical Advantage and Hot Pursuit to move ever so quickly. Numbing Traps and Blood Vengeance to keep up our resources. That's pretty much all you need to know. Oh, Canonized Cube, obviously, very importantly. So you can't see because my big head's in the way. It is a big European type head. But I'll show you here. I've got Canonized open. So weapon, we're using the Odyssey's end here for Entangling Shot. Strong Arm Braces, like I mentioned before, when we knock back enemies with Wind Force, it'll proc the 30% increased damage of our Strong Arm Braces, and the group does more damage that way. They get a nice damage buff, and we're using Ring of Royal Grandeur so we can get the 4-piece bonus while only having 3 items equipped of Gods, and we get the 3-piece full set bonus of Captain Crimson's while only having 2 pieces equipped. I think that's about it. Did I not cover something off? I've gone through the gear, the gems, the stats that we need. I've gone through Canonized Cube, the skills. I think we're ready to blast and give y'all an example. So let's do some runs. We'll do a couple runs to just show everybody an example, and then we'll get the music back on, I promise. Is everybody in the group ready? We're live. So we're doing 123s right now, and as long as the maps are pretty decent, we're knocking them off in under 2 minutes. So you want to get your momentum stacks up here. Make sure you're marking enemies for death. And you're kind of a bit of a leader. You got to make sure that you're taking all the pylons as a support Demon Hunter. And make sure you're firing off Entangling Shots to keep up those momentum stacks. And then as you can see, those globes, the juicy purple globes, are just being vacuumed into me. So I'm collecting them all as I go. You want to keep an eye on them and make sure that you collect them all for the group. Oh! There's an elite down here. Elites especially, very importantly, you want to make sure they're marked for death. And then when all of your allies are close by, you want to activate your Wolf Companion to increase their damage. And I just mark pretty much all enemies for death anyway, as we progress on through. So, we've got some shitty maps to start, that's okay. We're used to it, right? Right, gang? And you want to sort of pull ahead, try and find elite packs for your allies. We take them down, mark them for death. Wolf Companion, while also entangling and marking for death. So there's a bit of button mashing, not mashing, but there's a few buttons to press and abilities that you need to really master. You want to try and make sure that the DPS gets the Wolf Companion buff. You want to make sure that every elite is marked for death. Do you really want to hurt me? So mark for death, Wolf Companion. When we got the channeling pylon, you can just spam your Wolf Companion. The Rift Garden is here. Pick up the gear that you want. I'm kind of a bit fussy now. I don't pick up everything because I've got everything that I need, even for my Impale Demon Hunter. Get your gems leveled up. And then we rinse and repeat. And collect that juicy XP. town is lava. So let's jump in and do another one. Hopefully we get a good map to serve as an example here. But as you saw, that was almost 2 minutes flat. And very importantly, don't forget to cast off a multi-shot, so that way when you're strafing, you're also multi-shotting at the same time. And chilling enemies as we go. Watch out for explosions. The only time you can die is pretty much when the fatties pop and when there's explosions around. Get that pylon, we get an extra elite. Mark these elites for death. Let off the Wolf Companion. And as we go, keep on casting those entangling shots. Hopefully the next floor is a good one. And don't forget the smoke screen as well. You've got smoke screen that can get you out of danger. You avoid damage taken. It also increases your movement speed. Usually a pylon in this corner. And then once you start playing a lot, like I have, you start memorizing where the pylons can spawn. And you quickly run straight to that area. Or you smoke screen straight in there. Get that movement speed burst. And you get that pylon so you get those extra juicy elites for your group. Faster progression means more XP, means more Paragon, means you're going to be more powerful. So there's the Rift Guardian, and that's going to be a sub 2 minute run. The maps weren't perfect, but that's under 2 minutes, and that's what you want to do. Keep on doing runs under 2 minutes, and you're going to get your XP and your juicy Paragon levels. We got a key. Good luck, everyone. Let me know how you go with the support Demon Hunters. That's the proper way to run a support Demon Hunter.